Hi, guys. Sorry about the late start. Um, I was actually just Zooming with Teresa, and she will be along shortly. She's just going to be on the live chat doing clarifications because I'm still having technical issues. But so there's Nancy and there's Charity. Can I get one of you to let me know if the sound is okay? Because I was having some microphone issues. Um, there's Teresa. I'm trying to figure out if I'm using a laptop mic or the ProStream mic. So we're gonna test it now, okay? So what I'm gonna do, if anyone can hear me, can you type in the word red, R-E-D? Okay, and now can you type in the word purple? I'm testing all the mics here because Teresa, I don't know what happened when we were doing that Zoom. Okay, so it is the ProStream mic. Okay, am I talking too loudly? Am I shouting? Am I too loud or too soft? Am I shouting? Or is there any distortion? Because what that means is that I'm right next to the mic that we're using. Is there a little tiny bit of okay, thanks. Thanks, guys. Now, so Teresa, we're going to do Nancy first. And I did not get, because I unhooked my keyboard. I was going to forward Nancy's email to Teresa, and as I was coming on the live, and then I realized that I've unhooked my keyboard so I can plug in the ProStream camera. However, I don't think there's basically, Nancy had just explained to him that he's wasted a lot of her time. And we're just, so how about if we start, Nancy, how about if we start, how about if we start looking at, yes, my love, Charity, and you'll be right after Nancy, okay? How about if we look at, Nancy, how about if we look at, fish away, God love you. Let's just look at how Cappy is feeling right now, okay? And I am going to clear this deck because I was just reading a Scorpio energy. I just had a really, really, really good chat with Teresa about my own problems, so I'm feeling really good right now. Teresa is a problem solver, I'll tell you that much. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're getting Cappy's energy infused into this deck here. Cappy, 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 Cappy. Cappy, 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 Cappy. Cardinal Earth. Male Capricorn. They're like chocolate sundaes. Good to eat, but bad for you. Sorry. God forgive me for saying that. Oh my. Now, let's see. Cardinal Earth, male Capricorn, Cappy. Now, you agree with me, don't you, Nancy? They can be very addictive. It's the cardinal Earth. What can you do? It's a really cool combination. Sparky Earth, not mutable Earth or fixed Earth. But cardinal Earth. Anyway. Now, I believe we've got Cappy's energy here. All right, let's see what's up here. Well, actually, I may have to switch decks for a little bit. I'm going to have to switch decks, guys. Actually, no, I'm not. No, I got it. Because you mentioned the amount of time that he wasted. And he's looking at himself standing still. Yeah, and he's looking at you. There you are, where you should be right now. Because I do believe that you taking care of everybody else. I do believe. What is Capricorn? He's all triggered here. Well, he realizes he ought to have done the right thing, ought to have married you. How is Capricorn? Yeah, no, he's got the message here. He agrees with you, actually, Nancy. Oh, he'll never admit it. It's Capricorn thinking, feeling. Well, there's Jupiter in Capricorn. He's definitely look at this. Look what's under what he was delaying. A lover's choice. What is this? What's this judgment here? Okay, now give me a moment here. Nancy, you've got Leo in your chart somewhere, don't you? Or no, he does. Capricorn has Leo in his chart, doesn't he? One of you. What, show me what he knows. Yeah, I think you do, because you've got boundaries up. Well, he knows that why does he think that he ruined everything? What does he think that he did wrong? Just unfulfilled promises or didn't come in properly. What does he feel that he did wrong? I think what we have here is what he wishes he had done. Or if that has something to do with that bloody Scorpio masculine friend of his that teased him. What does he think? Does he feel that he did wrong? Well, it didn't grow up. Certainly, he's actually really looking inward right now. He did wrong. Didn't look at the truth, follow his own intuition about this, this union, this love and marriage. Why is he okay? Why is he only now realizing this? Well, his heart is hurting. I feel like, you were up for this challenge. You were up for this, and I think right now the way that he sees you is that, I think he actually looks back at not too long ago. Oh, hang on, Teresa's getting something. King, Fool, King of Cups, Ten of Wands, and Nine of Wands. Teresa, can you do me a favor? Would you be able to clarify your King of Cups? Because I'm wondering if that's his Scorpio friend that always teases him and makes him feel like I feel like that Scorpio it really knows how to manipulate Cappy. Just see what Teresa gets for the King of Cups. I could be wrong, Nancy. I'm really interested in knowing, because the Nine of Wands there is somebody who's scared and wary. Ten of Wands there, is could be blocking a bully, but the Fool and the King of Cups, to me, I'll just see what Teresa gets. Clarifying King of Cups. Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords. I'm telling you, Teresa, can we look at how, I'm just testing this now, Nancy, I'm not sure. Can we look at how Capricorn feels about his male friend, the Scorpio? Because I do think that Capricorn is playing the blame game here, but how does he feel about his male friend, the Scorpio? How does he feel about his male friend? Look at this. Look at this. Look at the Five of Wands. Could be angry. And there's somebody interfering there. Look at this. Look at this. He could feel like this. He could be angry because he could feel like the Scorpio did it on purpose. How does he feel? Now look at the past. Look at this. Look at that. Five of Wands, which is exactly what I got. Two of Wands and the Three of Cups. So, see, I'm just going to explain to you guys now what this is, and I could be wrong, okay? I'll tell you if I really feel like something. Yeah, we are. I was freaked out when we were on the Zoom, Teresa, because the reading was so tight. Like the two that we did on each other, it was just unreal. I have a theory, and I could be wrong, but I do believe that years and years ago, I'm just picturing, I have this, an image of Capricorn and his friend Scorpio in a bar. And you might have been around, Nancy, but I feel like the Scorpio was jealous as hell. And he said something to the Capricorn, like, you guys are going to be married in no time. And whatever he knew that Capricorn had to get his back up. And I think that Capricorn was so embarrassed about his feelings. He might have said, I'll put some money on that. 10, something stupid. And the Scorpio, you see, because he couldn't get Nancy's attention, Scorpios always win. See that? In some way, they always win. And I think that he preyed on Cappy's weaknesses. And you know how stubborn, look at this, how stubborn, poor old Capricorn. He's very, look at this, just look at this. I'm telling you right now. See, what Cappy should have done in that situation is he should have said, you know what, you're probably right. Actually, Avery, that's a damn good idea. I'm going to go buy a ring tomorrow. He should have done that. He should have taken the wind right out of his sails, But of course, and I believe that that's Cappy, because that's what he did. He panicked. No, doesn't want anyone thinking that he could be in love. God damn that Scorpio. Look at this. It's ego, right? It's all ego. Who cares what other people think? There's the 5 of Wands that Teresa had. But now, then there's the delay. Now, this is no excuse at all. It's a tragedy for Cappy, because I think that what's going to end up happening is it is too late, because I feel like it's almost like, when a bicycle chain gets off, when the chain comes off, something is off. The timing is off now. It's like something has skipped. And Nancy, no matter how much Cappy catches up, there's something that's off time-wise. That's how I feel. And it leaves just enough room for this other guy who I feel is coming in. Just even if you're not even looking for anyone else, it leaves just enough room for this other person to come in. It's no excuse. He can't go blaming, he was just very, 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 macho, and didn't want to look like he could be, what do they call, guys tease each other sometimes, say, oh, you're whipped or something. Well, that's a really horrible way to make fun of a guy because he's changed his life and is, it's a terrible thing to do, you know. It's just this caring too much about what other people think. But anyway, there's that number 8. See that? I feel like it happened 8 years ago, and there might have been a bet, a 10-year bet, right? We might be close to the. So there's you asking for truth and clarity, Capricorn. I remember you actually did figure this out. I remember that you did mention this to him. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. He's wondering how you know. Well, maybe he. If you said that, that could be me, by the way. Maybe he thinks that the card reader told her something. No. No. I think what this is here. What's this truth here? No, I think you're. I really think. I think we could be right about this. I just want to, Teresa, can we ask, what does the Scorpio friend, the male Scorpio, how is he feeling about Capricorn right now? Because this is about ego. It's not about, they might have put money on it, but it's more about ego. How does the Scorpio, I have to switch decks. I've got to replace this deck. How does the Scorpio guy? So I mean, and all the time that was wasted, yeah. Scorpio's to blame about this too. This would be a great way to get this truth out of him. Keep mentioning all the time that was wasted, because Capricorn loves to blame other people. How does the Scorpio feel about Capricorn? Why did Nancy just come up? Teresa got 5 of Wands, 2 of Cups, and the Empress. Screwing up a 2 of Cups. Now, just look at that. Why? So Scorpio's feelings for Capricorn are all about you, Nancy. Now, why would that be? There's the opportunity that he had. How is the Scorpio feeling about Cappy? Cappy doesn't want to hang out with him anymore. Somebody's in a snit. Somebody lost an opportunity. How does the Scorpio? Wow. You know, I feel like the Scorpio is jealous. Um, because little did Cappy know there's communication going toward, and notice how Cappy's coming up as a man who's committed. How does the Scorpio feel? Look at this. Somebody's very wary, or somebody may have been playing mind games here. He's scared and wary, or how does the Scorpio feel about the Cappy? There's 3 coming out. Somebody's been, yeah. Now look at this. There's some kind of so with that Knight of Pentacles, this is either somebody stuck or some kind of a obligation, or somebody feels obligated. Why is Scorpio in the 9 of Wands? Why is he wary and looks uneasy? Why is Scorpio looking uneasy? Because Capricorn is so desperately unhappy? Why is Scorpio uneasy? You're right in the middle of all this. I think what we're looking at here is, I think Scorpio cannot believe that he was able to manipulate Cappy this way. I mean, you're coming up as the cream of the crop. I mean, holy shit. What does Scorpio know that he did wrong? Play 2 sides. Scorpio know that he did wrong. Made somebody stopped something, or kept something stuck. Scorpio know that he did wrong. Yep. Made somebody insecure and stuck. But it looks like he feels like he affected both of you. These 2 people are stuck. And this stopped a marriage. Does he know that he did wrong, deceived, made somebody have anxiety about? Yeah, he was very deceptive. He confused somebody, made somebody scared of marriage. Teresa got 6 of Wands. Hang on now. Yeah, it was. See? He could also be worried that he's going to be exposed. Scorpio. Scorpios always win. You gotta watch them. The other thing too, I had a Zoom earlier today with female Aquarius, and I'll tell you something that I saw. Okay, and the Scorpio that she's seeing is definitely very interested in her, but she's this career woman, right? He is deliberately testing her to see what he's worried about. This Scorpio that I was looking at today in the cards, you could tell that he's looking at her, imagining her as a mother. What attracted to him about her was the deer, the mothering, nurturing. He was worried that she won't give up work and all. This is what's going through his mind. Now, you know what he's saying to her? You must really enjoy your career. You know what he's doing is he's getting information from her by, he's getting the truth out. So this is why you got to be very careful around Scorpio. You got to tell the truth, because what they do is, so what this guy was doing was he was trying to find out the truth about whether she really wanted a career or wanted to stay home. He actually wanted her to stay home. He doesn't want a career woman, but she has no clue about that whatsoever. Now, Nancy says, Kathy should. Yeah. I'm really glad that you did bring that up because when I read your email, it almost made me cry because it's true. And especially when you got to your mom never got to see you married, and she was holding on for so long, right? And literally, everybody's life was put on hold, you know, because he just had to be right. He just had to be right, you know. He just had to be the tough one. Uh, oh, I'm switching decks for a second. Yeah, like I said, I'm not making any excuses for him at all. But I mean, it's such a hard lesson for him to learn. Who cares what one man thinks, you know? My God. Jeez. All because what will people think? Well, what will people think? You know, there's the friends. It's coming out here. Yes. Concealment. It's also what you didn't know. Let's go back to looking at how Cappy's feeling about Nancy right now. It is. It is. What is Capricorn thinking? Let's ask what he's thinking and feeling right now. I'm really glad that you point me out. There's that Wands. Hey, Teresa, did you see that? It's like 10 Wands, and there's another 10. Wheel of Fortune. You know, when we were talking about, by the way, the Scorpio that I was talking about just then was not Teresa's Scorpio. It was an Aquarius Scorpio. But this card here comes up again. Somebody being stubborn, difficult, but not refusing to do something. Everything has to be their way, you know. And this is something that's starting to weigh down on this person. Oh no, I've just got to be right. I got to have it done my way. I'm going to finish this. I'm going to get through these 10 effing years because I have to be right. There's the number 10. There's the number 10. And there's the woman of his dreams here. And there's all her wishes too. And notice how she's kind of Nancy, that kind of looks like you. It does actually. And notice how that looks like a wedding dress. So I do think he's realizing the impact. Oh my God. Whoa. You got your point across. Another 10, guys. The third 10 just came up. This is what he's thinking about here is that is a point in time. It's not in the future. It was supposed to be, that was supposed to have already happened. This is what was supposed to have already happened. Interesting. I'm really glad that you pointed that out to him. He's learning that lost opportunity, and there's a woman that sat there. Everything was ruined. In fact, she doesn't want the opportunity anymore either. He's triggered all right. Let's see what Teresa has. Hang on. This is one hell of an interesting reading, Nancy. Two of Wands, choice, seven of swords. Jesus. Yeah, 10 of pence. Seven of swords. You know, so the seven of swords there is the sneakiness of, it could also as well be the two of them because this had to be kept up, you know, this had to be kept a secret. But he's feeling very triggered right now. He's half angry, half, he's and half enthused. But look at this. Look at the Four of Wands there. You know, yeah. Wow. Whoa. Yeah. So I'm really, whatever, there was something very sobering. But yet, well, that is all a bloody injustice. That's why he is realizing that this is an injustice. Yeah. And if it makes you feel any better, he does feel very remorseful. And that may have been the first time I've seen him in that over something that he knew that he did wrong. So, and I get, yeah, oh my God, I can't believe I'm about to say this, because I never interpret this card that way, that Five of Cups, even though everybody else does. But now I see the whole time the two cups were there. The castle was there. The bridge was there. It was there the whole time. And he's over there partying with his back turned. The whole time it was right there. Yeah. Okay. Just because he had to win. Because he had to win. Because he had to win. There's some kind of a... I'm not seeing this in this reading as delays. I'm seeing this as some like a promise, an obligation, like that. That look, the waiting. I don't want to say the word BET, but because I don't think that money was involved. Look at the 10. Look at the 10. Look at the 10. Somebody's standing there. Somebody's standing there. Waiting, 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 waiting. I believe that's a-hole Scorpio there. All right, so yeah, and there's the Five of Swords, the unethical, the guy, the person who had to win. They were both trying to beat each other, is what happened. And there's a great big lie here. Well, yeah, it's a lie about why things were inequitable. They weren't fair. Somebody got robbed. There's Scorpio here coming in, disturbing. Yeah, something has to be kept very concealed too. And there you are in the state of, so Capricorn is seeing you in a state of confusion here about the past. He is seeing you in a state of confusion, but he's also, wow. Nancy, he's also a bit angry about what he lost, too, by the way. Yeah. By the way, I mean, the death card is the card of Scorpio, but he's looking at this. There's the ego. There's that Six of Wands. But the Six of Wands, he was coming up in the Six of Wands, facing the Scorpio, right? I won. I caring too much about what Scorpio thought rather than you. Now, in that Seven of Swords there, in that deck, somebody is realizing that they were pursuing materialistic things, and they're actually walking away from it. So either he's doing that now or he's realizing that's what I should have done. Yeah. All right. So do you want me to look at thanks, Teresa. Nancy, do you want me to look at what he's going to do next? Thank you, Teresa. Or what would you like to look at next, Nance? Okay. And I'm just going to roll my cheap deck. Yeah, he's learning some hard lessons. He feels empty without you. He's learning some hard lessons. He loves you. He feels empty without you. Right? Cappy's like, right now, I just need your love. Now, I think, and so I just got that card a couple of times. I'm working up the courage to contact you. Of course, he's always contacting you, but I think that means he's working up the courage to tell you about this, because maybe he thinks that if he tells you, well, actually, it's going to make him look really bad, whatever it is. So he feels like he doesn't know how to express his feelings. He's working on it. I don't know how to express my feelings for you. I'm working on it. And he sees so much potential for a future with you. You mean the world to him. I wish you were here with me. I miss you and I want you back. Just a minute now. How is he going to get around this? Well, he's working on his immature behaviors. Please be patient. What is he going to do? Yeah, well, he does. Well, Capricorn, he's right about one thing. He says, am I too late? I fear you have moved on. That's 100% how he's feeling. And it's the scary thing, though, for him is that it's not that you physically moved anywhere. Emotionally, you've moved on. He also feels like you're his divine counterpart. Now, here's the kicker. This is what tells me. I always wondered why this card came up for Cappy when it comes to you. I regret not having the courage to fight for us when I had a chance. Because I was going to fight with who? But that tells me that I might be right about that Scorpio thing. Twin flame. Yeah, you were the first person to make me feel this way. I truly believe he did all along. That was the truth. That's how he felt. What is so, he was so, now look at this. Look at this. Look what just came up. That's not his family. That's his bloody friend. And what he didn't know, what he didn't understand is that if Scorpio had the chance, if he had a chance with you, he would be married to you in a heartbeat. I think Scorpio did, I think, come on to you, and you might have turned him down before you got involved with Cappy. But I think that Cappy does not know that. I think he doesn't know that. So the dodo head, sorry for calling your person dodo head, but he didn't even realize what was going on there. See, Scorpios always win. Even when they lose, they win. Got to be very, very careful. Men should be very careful about trusting their masculine friends when there's a 9 of Pentacles lady around. All right, so let's see what he is going to. Okay, hang on now. I want to read Nancy's comment. And then we're going to see what he's planning on doing. I keep saying that every time. Yep. Yeah, and I see that. I feel that coming from you. I feel like it's not even a conscious. It's not that you made. It just happened. There's only so much, you know. There's, at some point you run out of fuel, you know, or there's no more tears left to cry. It's we're out. We're all out of tears, all out. you know and it's not that you don't love him, because you do, but he's absolutely exhausting. 1 second, guys, I'm just going to refresh my beverage. 1 second. So Teresa, the next thing we're going to look at is uh, what Cappy's next planned action is. Okay, 1 sec. This will tell you what a mess my house is in. I'm actually drinking out of a 2 liter of Pepsi right now because I can't find one clean glass. Anyway, it's fun. All right, let's have a look at what is Capricorn's next planned action. And I'm going to get I'm going to use a mixture of Moonology and I feel like grabbing a wise dog. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to reach over here. There it is. All right. Well, he's been doing I do believe that he's been spending a lot of time alone in the past few weeks and looking at stuff. I think he's definitely not going to be. His actions will be guided by his own wisdom from now on, I feel. Yeah, and look at this. He may tell you a truth about that. That Seven of Swords there, I feel, is the shenanigans that the Scorpio was up to. And he could still be doing it, just teasing Capricorn. And it just feels like he's very jealous. Yeah, look at this. Like, sorry, switch to Capricorn. So, what Capricorn is he's realizing the truth about this huge Ace of Pentacles opportunity. He's looking at it and realizing the truth about it. What are his planned actions? Woo! This is good. We got the Empress here. What are his planned actions? Now, clarify the bloody Six of Pentacles here. That card is always tricky. Okay. He wants to go back and he's looking at consequences here. See, he's trying to figure out what to do about them. What are you going to do about these consequences here? He's trying to figure out how to not he'll lie, but he's trying to figure out. The Page of Cups here is an excuse, okay, about the past there. Yeah. So he's looking at the Eight of Swords there. That's him feeling restricted, but why is he feeling restricted? Because he's worried that you're going to be angry, and why wouldn't you be? It does sound ridiculous. If a guy came to someone and said the reason why there's been so much delay, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It does look like he wants to commit to you and wants to do the right thing. What are his next planned actions? He's really wanting. We've got the Hierophant and the Queen of Pentacles here for his actions toward you, which is really good. He knows what he wants. Okay, so we've got the World and the Queen of Pentacles, which is excellent. All right, so this is an upgrading. There's the Death card. So I'm wondering, though, if that's the Scorpio. There's some kind of huge, in order to get it, in order to move forward, something has to really transform here. What is the Death card for what has to, what is the Hierophant for what has to change? Just give me a moment here. There's something about the future, and there's you in the future. Oh, what has to change is your mind. The problem is here. So he feels like he can't keep something out of your line of vision. What is it that he feels he cannot keep out of her line of vision? What was holding him back? What does he feel that he needs to do? So there's the Three of Coins over here, and it can be a little plan, right? What is it? He may be getting some advice here from someone. Is it that he feels that he has to do? Just a moment now. I got to look at what Teresa's getting. Yeah, look at that. 10 of Swords. Queen of Swords. Knight of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles. Star. 2 of Wands. Knight of Swords. Yeah. I see. Here's the thing. The good thing is that he does want to be honest with you. He doesn't want. This is not something that I mean, he wants you guys. He wants this based on truth here, but there's a big lie there. And this is something that was done in a sneaky way. And I believe what he's looking at is that bloody Scorpio thing and the restrictions, what caused the restrictions. All right, so, and what held everything back. I just heard a weird noise. And then there's somebody looking at the truth here, or somebody finding out a truth about somebody. Look at this, the Lovers and the Ace of Cups. Wow. Empress. Queen of Swords, like Teresa said, yeah, and the Lovers. What he's worried about is that, yeah, I do think that he's very worried that you're going to raise your sword here. That can be, the Lovers can be a contract, some kind of an agreement. There's marriage and the Empress, and there's somebody looking at the truth and being truthful with intimacy. Well, I'll tell you something. One thing that I do like is that he's not comfortable. He really, part of part of what's causing the block is that he does not want anything. He doesn't want any deception between you guys if you're committed. So now he's really up the creek. He's really up the creek. that tells me that he does really, your connection deep down, no matter how badly behaved he's been, it's very sacred. And see that death card come up there? The reason why I'm interested in that is because and now we have 2 major arcana cards of Scorpio. So I really think, and there's the future here. And, somebody facing judgment here, and there's the little spy, someone finding out a truth. And there's the future. So, what does what I want? Yeah, and look at this. Look at that 7 of Swords. See, the thing is, man, you're coming as 9 of Pentacles, lady. At least he now knows that somebody literally, was trying to look at this. That's actually Cappy. He lost his 9 of Pentacles, lady. It wasn't worth it, that's for sure. Asshole Scorpio. Left your ring. It was not worth it. Yeah. It was not worth it. He needs to realize what a fool he was. Yeah. He's the other thing is that the 8 of Swords, it's very, very interesting that card comes up. It's a lot like the 3 of Swords. What's wrong with the person in the 8 of Swords? It's the same problem as the person in the 3 of Swords. It's the same problem with the person in the 9 of Swords. What is it? It's that idiotic, logical part of the mind that just runs and doesn't listen to intuition. It's not connected, and it cares about facts and figures and what people think and what the majority thinks and what's this person doing, what's that. What? That nonsense can ruin people's lives, and it can actually ruin your health too. So, there's a long, history of the 3 of Swords. But the bottom line is, you can't, in order to know what's right, the correct action, it's actually the heart or the gut. It's somewhere around there, but the right and the left brain have to be attached and functioning together as a unit. And then there's a connection with the heart. And then decisions can be made. In the 3 of Swords, the heart is being struck. It's being attacked, stabbed by swords, by thought, by logic. And there's misery, blood, and tears being shed. He is now, well, at least, Nancy, you've certainly done your job as the divine feminine, because he's learned a very, very important lesson. And that's that this lover's choice, or the man is always afraid, that's the only choice, the right choice. That's a spiritual connection that cannot be denied. Let no man put asunder what God has brought together. And this is a person who does not need to ask anybody's opinion on anything. They don't need it, because they know, because they're very connected with their higher self. Now he's learned this lesson, and there's the 10 of Swords that Teresa got. The 10 of Swords here was a hard lesson to learn. It is called the Lord of Ruin. It's also called the End of Illusions. And those illusions are always 3D. Always, facts and figures, illusions, false beliefs, not aligned with the truth, not aligned with spirit, not aligned with the higher self. And it's very painful. But he's learned this lesson, You should write a script on this. All right, so what he's going to do, I think, he's trying to figure out right now what's on his mind here. Yeah, adjustments are required, that's for sure. What is the main adjustment that he thinks he needs to? Yeah, some healing. What is the main adjustment? What is the action? Yeah, give you some answers. Answers, and also, so he needs to give you some answers, and he needs to stop letting his past hold him back. That's what's really going wrong. He's hoping that he'll just be lucky. He's hoping he's going to try to get you to look at the bigger picture. Well, you can expect some powerful change. Now, I'll tell you something. First of all, I'm just going to give you a little heads up here. What I do know for you is that there is a new romantic cycle beginning. Nothing yet is set in stone. There are two possibilities here. He could blow it with spirit, because I believe that his commitment is being tested. How? So he needs to go to you, and he needs to tell you the truth. Now, if he doesn't, there's somebody is coming in. There's some, it could be an Aries man. There's somebody coming in pretty fast. It actually could be a Scorpio, but don't worry, it's not that guy. It looks like it's a cardinal sign. Could be an Aries. Somebody's going to be very, very, yeah, there's a new start coming, but I can't, right now, it could go either way. Capricorn is under judgment right now, but he's got a chance, right? Like, I don't know how long it's going to be. And his commitment is being tested. Let's see what Teresa just said. Yeah, you were right. I think it could be an Aries, because I'm getting cardinal energy and fire. So that new romantic cycle at this moment in time, en ce moment, it could either be, Cappy, at this very moment in time, there are two possibilities. It depends on how strong he is. And he is being tested by spirit. This is between, you've already done my God, Nancy, you've been so brave. Nancy put her heart out on the line, put her, she really is a walking demonstration of how showing vulnerability is not only makes you stronger, it makes you sexy, and she makes it look cool. And it, and to the point where she has no fear of anything, no fear at all, and so you hear sometimes, I know a lot of you really love Daniela from Empress Energy. I can't remember what the name of her channel is anymore, but she is constantly reminding everyone that your mission is to complete the twin flame journey. That does not mean you have to end up with the other person. What it means is, did you do your best? Did you put your best foot forward? Did you try to make it work? Were you honest? Did you really put in? Nancy, went out of your way. You really put in a absolute stellar effort. Gold stars all over the place, and then extended some extra slack. And, you really, really, really are a very, very good example to all women about how to conduct themselves. Strong, honest, loving, straightforward, and you honor how you want to feel. You honor your desires to the point where it really, you could make being dumped look awesome. Like, of course you were never dumped, but you really were a beautiful walking demonstration of courage and faith. And not only that, but people might say, yeah, but she got her heart broken. Just a minute. If you don't risk your heart, the lover's card, you will risk anything. You'll die for that person. Unconditional love. Love the person anyway, despite their actions. Unconditional love. Now, of course, she's disappointed, but if something happened to that man, Nancy would be devastated. And if somebody did something mean to him, she would be angry. She loves that man. And that's part of the reason why this is so, crushing, So you completed your twin flame journey. Hold your vision, girl. Hold your vision. You're a shining example. Yeah. Look, he might just make it. You see, what Spirit is telling Nancy here is just keep that sword up. Hold your vision. Keep these standards up, because adjustments are required. The very adjustments you told him that he needed to make. You're acting on behalf of Spirit here. So hold your vision. Hold your vision. Spirit requires Cappy to make some adjustments, okay? Just trying to. Everyone knows he's in love with you. Ask me again. Wow. Everyone knows he's in love with you. It's really interesting. I regret listening to people who don't even know you. He regrets listening to people who don't even know you. Holy moly, Nancy. You would never believe who left just before we met. That you would damn that that Scorpio was I just got a cold shiver then. You would never believe who left just before we met. I bet you that was some night that you bumped into Cappy, and Scorpio might have walked right out the door, or something like that. Anyway, King of Cups, 10 of Swords. This is really, really, this, you could make a good script out of this. Sorry, Nancy, I know that you had to experience all this, but, and the devil, Cappy. All right, final advice. Could we get Spirit saying guidance? Okay, so you don't need advice. Guidance, if you would like, for Nancy. Here we go. Okay. All right. Oh, this is sweet. All right, so here's what we have. Positive and loving thoughts. See, I just before I go on, I feel like this is what Cappy, the lesson that he had to learn. But anyway, here we go. Positive and loving thoughts are instrumental in creating positive, loving relationships. Fear and doubt only serve to create greater uncertainty. Think more about what is right in your relationship and less on what you think is wrong. The bottom line with that, though, is that positive and loving thoughts are instrumental in creating positive relationships. Fear and doubt only serve to create greater uncertainty. Where does fear and doubt come from? Opinions of others and the logical mind running. And I believe that is part of what happened with Cappy, and it created a lot of uncertainty. Now, any other guidance for Nancy? I also think that Spirit does not want you to think that anything was look, you and Cappy had some really good times, and you may be up for way more in the future. And you can't, as was it Frank Sinatra who said that? You can't take that away from you. Listen to this. Two hearts merge through an explosion of love. United, they create unlimited wealth. Together, they fulfill their dreams. I wonder, is that with the cabinet? All right. Yeah, here's, I believe, what Cappy's doing now. In order for you to heal your relationship with another, you must first heal the relationship you have with yourself. I feel like this is for Cappy. Forgive yourself, accept yourself, love yourself. I think those are three things. It has, if I'm right about that thing, that Scorpio thing, this has to be, it's a real, thorn in his side and a heavy weight, because there's no way in hell that he, thinks that what he did was justified, and that could be. I mean, I really, really think that has a lot to do with the block. I really do. And the more time that passes, the more difficult it gets to tell the truth, right? Keep getting this message here, Nancy. A lot of notes, a lot of paperwork. Why can't you just let this go? I feel like this has something to do with him and Avery. This has been going on for years. Whose car was in your driveway for 2 days? Hey! Nancy, could that have been Avery? Anyway, Nancy, I love you so much. You are so awesome. You are so awesome. Can we get one thing that Spirit wants people to learn from Nancy? There are many things. All right, there's 2 things. Are we ready? Wow, look at this. Well, first of all, Nancy finds a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. You certainly did. I recognize that I have chosen fear, and I choose again. I choose love. So, fear is always based on false beliefs, by the way. Always. When you dig down at Nancy chooses love, and I think also, look at this. I choose to learn through love. Beautiful. Her energy creates her reality. What she focuses on is what she will manifest. You really, really did a good job on this one, Nancy. You were very, very committed and very, very patient. And I commend you. Let's give Nancy a round of applause. Nancy, 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 Nancy. All right. Nancy, you're amazing. I love you too. Now, did anyone else donate? So we're doing the donators first, and then depending on my energy, I may do a few short freebies. Is there anyone who donated? I think Charity said she was going to. And while we're waiting, how's everybody? How's everybody? How's everybody? I'm having a hard time reading, but just a second. You may be next, Theo, depending on whether or not somebody. Okay, so we're going to find out, did anybody donate? Did anybody donate? Oh, 66 is here. Oh, I've got to do housework, 66. Theo, you may be next. All right, well, let's just start Theo, because I think Charity might have gone on her way. All right, well, we'll start with Theo. All right, Theo, would you be able to tell me, don't give me the year, I don't need the year, and don't type it in. Well, actually, I guess you'd have to type it in. You could send it to me telepathically. Theo, can you give me the day and month of your birth, but not the year? Day and month, but not the year. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you could just tell me the month and I'll poke around. I'll say, is it before or after, whatever. Okay, 1 second now. I gotta lean in close. Hannah. May 30? Okay. So we have a Gemini. Yeah, Taurus is April 20 to May 20. And then we have Gemini. So is this female Gemini? Don't be insulted if you're a man, but I'm getting a female energy from you. Hannah? Got it. Okay. Thank you. It doesn't matter. I mean, if it were a gay couple, this would be the feminine. There's always a masculine and feminine, no matter what. Okay. Oh, I love your name. Okay. Theodora, I love that name. Okay, so we've got, and she is very squirrely a Gemini. She is in the first decan. All right, so you may see the Eight of Swords come up. Don't worry. That's your card, actually. So female Gemini, just a second now. And the person that you're asking about, do we know? Don't worry if we don't know his birthday. Do we know the month that he was born in? And don't worry if we don't. It's a-okay. Okay, do you think it was before or after December 21? He's a Sag, okay. He's either a Sag or a Cap, so we've at least got that narrowed down. Okay, so okay. Now, so here's what I'd like you to do, Theodora, and I know this sounds crazy, but just trust me on this. What I need you to do right now is just close your eyes for about 5 seconds, and I want you to, in your mind, visualize what Saji looks like, just his facial features, okay? And almost like you're taking a little mental screenshot of what Saji looks like and send it to me telepathically, just in your mind, okay? Just take about 10 to 15 seconds out to do that. And then type in, when you're done, just go type in done. Okay. Good girl. Excellent. Excellent. Now this is going to be interesting. I think I will reach for the regular deck. All right, so we're dealing with May 30 Gemini, first decan Gemini, mutable air. And she is dealing with mutable fire. Mutable air and mutable fire. Theodora. So that man, that one, that mental snapshot. Show me what he's thinking and feeling. I want you to just, if you could, for 1 second, just in your mind, think about the sound of his voice, okay? In your mind. You're doing a great job, Theodora. And 4 and 6. That man, beautiful. And 3 and 6. How is he thinking and feeling? One and 6. He's in love with you. Okay, in 6, please. In 6. How is he thinking and feeling? In 5, please. How is that man thinking and feeling? All right, and 2 more. Hey, your card just came up. 1 more. Okay, there's 3 coming out. Oh, damn. Okay, hang on now. We got some interference here. How is he thinking and feeling? So, he's trying to figure out what to do right now. What are his options? What is going on there? All right, so what has she, he's thinking about something that you've said. What has she raised her sword about? Who is just give me a second now. What has he said to her here? He said to her. What does he want her to do? Just a second now. he wants you to be his property. Well, what is he trying to figure out? What is he thinking about doing? He's thinking about some communication from you, or he's thinking about something having to do with travel or a choice. Just a second now. Okay, who's facing restrictions in his mind here? Who's facing restrictions? Why is Smith? Who's angry here at who? What's this reveal? Okay, who are the people in the Three of Cups, please? They're angry because he's happy. Okay. You have, there's a couple of people here who don't want you to be together with this person. And there's also somebody, I'm not even sure if he's aware of this, but there's somebody who's very angry that he, about how he feels about you. And I feel like you and he feel the same way about each other, but there's a group of people that don't want this, that don't want you guys together, and it's jealousy. I mean, it could be his friends. It could be his friends. There's somebody that yeah. Wait a moment now. Who's scared and wary here? Sag is scared and wary. Give me a second now. What is this High Priestess secret? There we go with this reveal again. What's this reveal? Who's in the what is he worried will happen? Okay, just a second. What is he doing there in the Seven of Coins? He's trying to make a decision. Something that's out of your line of vision, all right, or out of somebody's line of vision. Either that, or he doesn't want. He's either trying to protect you or keep people away from you, or doesn't want you to see. to find out how he feels about what he thinks that you feel for him. Hang on, I gotta read your comment there. Yeah, they're very, very, very jealous. Um, so I'm getting a couple of signatures. What I'm getting here, first of all, is that he wants you all to himself. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I understand that now. Um, he wants you all to himself. Now, the one of the problems though here is that it's almost like he's worried. It looks like he's worried that he needs to. It's not to protect or guard you; it's to keep you away from these this motley crew because he feels like they're going to try to wreck things either by saying something. What is he afraid is going to happen here? What is he afraid? It's like he wants you to come visit him, but the problem is he's worried that somebody's going to try to do damage to the connection. Do you see that card there? See, and that's him. Maybe there's perhaps he's not very confident. Poor guy. Maybe he thinks that maybe he thinks that somebody that's a sin. He may not want you to get out because he's worried that you'll find somebody better, but surely to God he can't be. Why? What is going on here? There's something that his friends know that you don't know. Why are we getting the Fool here in this truth? All right, what is it that he doesn't want her to know? But, no, it's not that. What does he think will happen if she meets all these people? That somebody will come on to you? What does he think will happen if she meets all these people? Why would there be judgment here? Oh, have you met his really close friends? There could be somebody who knew him when he was sort of in a different way, or who has some kind of information on something that's in his past here. What is the what is the okay, all right, okay, just a second now, just a second. What happened after this meeting? Hang on. What happened after this meeting? Why did somebody get angry? Oh, okay. All right, just a minute. Just a minute. The person that you met, okay, this, I don't know if this is a colleague of his or a friend. Would you just be able to concentrate on that friend for a moment? You may have just briefly met this person. How did that man, thank you, my love. What did he say to the set? Oh, that you are the cream of the crop, the top of the top. All right. Okay. There's the King of Swords again. I tell you what I think happened here. But this Sag is going to have to get his confidence up. That man that you met said something very complimentary about you to him, but I am not sure that the Sag uh, had made it known to his best friend how serious he is about you, because it's almost like the guy that he introduced you to um, said something really good about you, like, is she single? Boy, oh boy, I've never seen anyone like that. I'd really, really, something like that. It was something very, you're coming out as the star, he's the guys coming out as the Knight of Cups and the Eight of Wands and this Empress energy and this and then we have Sag turning into this angry King of Swords, and then wanting to put this Two of Swords in front of you, and keeping the Eight of Swords. So you know what I think happened here? I think that Sag might have. You see, here's where it's always best to tell the truth. What he should have done, if he was worried that any of his friends were going to be interested in, he should have said, I'm in love with her and I'll be devastated if I lose her. And that way, no good friend of his is going to, but maybe he was trying to be a big shot, and didn't make it clear how much he, felt for you. I don't even think that how much, what he feels for you. But the Sag is feeling a lot, but it's like he's been holding back. Why? What is this tower here? I mean, I actually think that there's the streak of terror here. What's the tower? How he felt about you falling in love. Why? Why? Why is he holding back here? Why is he holding back? Here we go again. What's that? What the hell is that? Anger toward his mother? I don't know. There's some kind of a truth here. But what others will think, or oh, I know why he's holding back. Oh my God. So, okay. It looks like I'm like 70% sure of this. Okay, so I'm not totally sure. So it looks like he's trying to keep you in the Eight of Swords. So what does that mean? Reason why it's about control. That Strength card was about control. He tells me that. Yeah. So this is probably how his father kept his mother out. So this don't be too affected by what I'm about to say, because A, I'm only 70% sure of it, and B, I would say probably 75% of young men do this, even though they shouldn't. And when I say young men, probably right into their 40s. What he's doing is he's keeping you confused. There's a blindfold over your eyes, like metaphorically speaking, and you can't move because you're feeling insecure, you're confused, and you're kind of trapped. In other words, he's got you where he wants you, but he did it by making you think that you like him more than he likes you, and that actual fact exactly the opposite. Okay, so if you only knew, if you could be only knew how he actually feels about you, he is that Ace of Cups that you saw coming up over and over. Those are his feelings. and that Strength card and the Two of Swords and the Four of Swords and all that blocking, that and keeping you in the Two of Swords and the Eight of Swords. You can't see, you can't hear, he's going to give you zero evidence of his emotions, and he comes across to you as a King of Swords. Now, so that is a strategy, and that is why we use tarot cards, because the woman in the Eight of Swords, now you're no longer in the Eight of Swords. Now you're not confused. And your heart probably knows that this is true. He's going to an awful lot of trouble to make sure that you have no idea of how insecure he is, this guy is, that he doesn't want you even talking. The thought of you finding another man attractive makes him want to explode. Now, you would never know that. You'd never know that because he puts on a good act. It's very important to him that you be completely confused and don't know how he feels or where you stand or anything like that. Okay? So now what happened was this other person, I don't think he disclosed to his friend what he's really feeling for you. Because, yeah, there's the Two of Swords again. Look at this. Do you know why your Sagittarius is coming up as the King of Cups? Let me tell you why your Sagittarius, so no matter when he was born in December, he's got to be, the only thing he's on the cusp of is Capricorn. So there ain't no water anywhere near him. The reason why he's coming up as the King of Cups is because of how emotional he. Look at the Giant cup. Now, do you know what your Sagittarius is looking at? This. Do you know what this is? That's a woman. It's you. And let me tell you what's going on with her in that card. So what can't she see? She cannot see his giant cup, his huge amount of love and emotion. There he is down there, Sag coming out as the King of Cups. And he's looking over, and he's well aware that every time I look for a card, it just runs away on me. But I just want you to look at this so you can actually see. No wonder you're asking, because he's made it impossible. There wouldn't be nobody knows this. You wouldn't be able to hear it. Nobody would, if you ask someone, they wouldn't know. There's no evidence of it. Sorry, that's that card. You have no idea about what he's feeling. And he's looking over at you, a little bit worried. He also, just look at the stress and worry. Look at his eyebrows are up, like he's a little bit scared, frightened. Okay. So, now, so when he met that man, it made him concerned. Look at this. Look at the Lover's Choice. Wow. And you're coming up as the Empress there. Yeah. Over there. Now you're looking at somebody somebody, and you don't even know it, you don't know how he feels. You have no clue. Now let me tell you who this is. I mean, I hope we'd like that to be Sag, but there's a man on the outside that knows, that can see. I mean, that could be him. There's someone here who is a masculine friend who's well aware of what a big deal you are. The Ace of Coins recognizes your worth. Yeah, and I do believe somebody here. I mean, there's a mixture of two things going on here. There's three people here, and somebody's choosing someone. So I just feel like the Sag is scared that if you weren't confused, that you might choose somebody else. So what a terrible method of keeping somebody. So what are Sag's intentions? It's the Two of Wands. What are Sag's intentions to make you wait, to keep you stuck? What are Sag's intentions toward you? To control you, to hold you back from ending something. What are his intentions? Possibly to marry you, but it looks like it's going to be, he may want to knock you up or something. It looks like you're unhappy. You see, I mean, he's imagining you as being unhappy. Why would he? Because he doesn't, because somebody else he's in the third decan of Sag, by the way, I think. So he would be somewhere between December 8 and, and 19 or 20. Why? It's like he won't change, but he doesn't want. What I'm getting here is that it's more important to him to have you than his happiness is essential. Yeah, I really think it. I think we're very close if we're not dead on. Hang on, I just got to lean over and see what the oak is saying. Okay. All right, just a second now. Good for you. Yeah. Oh, you're in love with him. That's fine. Oh, he is definitely in love with you. He can't look. There's no question of that, and it is so obvious. Looking at the cards, but it's also obvious to me that he's gone out of his way to keep you in a total state of confusion. But the sad part about it is, he thinks that what he's afraid of, okay? He's afraid of you, of you being with a better man. It's like he's afraid of you being with a better man. So there's, you know, at the same time, he is not willing to change. He's very stubborn. Um, but he must be in a lot of turmoil himself because he feels like he has to manipulate things in order to keep you. What he's afraid of is if you could see the truth, and if all the lights were turned on and the sun came out, you would take off. And that's why the Fool was coming up. You would be happy and carefree. You'd be free. And then he's imagining um, it didn't help what his friend said, but I think his friend was just being honest. It made it very clear to him, though, um, that you are in high demand. It's just that I don't think he wants you out meeting very many people. He wants you to be totally focused on him. And how does he do that? He gets you completely confused and insecure, and that distracts you. Now, I do note that you're in the Eight of Swords, so the only thing about this, what he's doing, apart from the fact that he's not telling the truth, is he may actually be distracting you. So it could be difficult to concentrate. When somebody is is keeping you in the dark about things, you need clarity. Well, now you have it. Let me tell you something. Here it is, plain and simple. The Sagittarius is a bit of a bully, okay? Not physically a bully, but he's he's a lot selfish. He's got a lot of pride. He does love you very, very much, but he is refusing to look at this from your perspective. And if he's so afraid that another man is going to trump him, then why doesn't he? He is very capable, very strong, very courageous. All he has to do is roll up his sleeves and stop being so stubborn and make the improvements to himself. But he won't even do that. It's got to be done his way. Everything has to be done his way. So, you know, uh, what you do in that situation is you assess. I call it the Fifi thing. I once was giving advice to a man who had a woman who was really, everyone else would say, "Why are you with her?" Well, you can't do that. You can't say that to people, because if you love someone, you love someone, and it's not good to criticize people that other people are in love with. So what you do is you say to yourself, "All right, um, you understand that you do love this person unconditionally. That's why you love them, because you love him despite his faults. But what you say to yourself is, that doesn't mean that I have to be with him, because I need to assess my overall happiness. It is a practical thing to assume that people won't change. I mean, you can ask people to change, you can point out what you'd like them to do, but generally people, you know, they're very likely not going to change. Um, anyway, anyway, and you just say to yourself, I need to, does the discomfort and whatever else he does drives nuts, does this outweigh the happiness that I have when I am with him? And it's like Fifi is this very expensive little dog that the vet bills are through the roof, and she chews up everything. She's not well trained. She yips and yaps, and everyone, why do you have that dog, Fifi? She drives nuts. Because they love Fifi. Because for those few moments that they curl up in bed before that outweighs all of the, you know, all of the other stuff. So, but it's a personal decision that you have to make, and it's none of anybody's business. And it's okay to love this person, even if you decide not to be with them. You commend yourself for being unconditionally loving. Anyone that calls somebody a doormat, that person really needs a prefrontal lobotomy. There is no such thing, you know. Um, the only thing you have to do is make sure that your personal comfort level isn't being compromised. Okay? So, now you know. You may feel that. Yeah. The heart knows. You could probably, sometimes we've made our decisions, and we don't even know it. Hey, there's Teresa. I didn't even realize you were still here. Teresa, I had such a wonderful time with you earlier. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Maybe I know you're probably very busy this week, but if you do have a night free, um, if we could do another little get together friend Zoom thing, that would be awesome. Teresa is the only one I trust to read my cards. She's very, very good. And guys, we are going to what we are going to do. Reason why Teresa's not um, on the thing right now says I'm not zooming anymore using this bloody laptop because I can't from where I am. There's an echo and I can't read the chat. I am getting a tech upgrade in the next 2 weeks, so you will see us on the here we go, both on screen. I love you. Okay, I will. Excellent. Sounds great, Teresa. Uh, Theodora, what I was just saying to you when I read your comment, I feel like I know I'm going to leave sometime. That's your gut. That's you knowing the truth. You're very aligned. And look what just came out for you. Destiny, follow your instincts. They lead to the truth. And this is actually related to the third eye chakra. So one beautiful thing about you, Theodora, is you have your right brain is hooked up to the left side of your brain, and it's all hooked up to the heart. And furthermore, it's hooked up to spirit. So you're wired beautifully. And so you might find that decisions are already made by you in your gut. You just follow, as spirit just said, follow your instincts. They lead to the truth. You don't need anybody else's advice. In fact, and people like to offer their advice. And here's what you do: if your mother, your sister, friends, oh, you just keep your mouth shut and look like you're listening and nod. Say that, yeah, yes. Thank you, yes. Aren't you listening to me? Yes, I'm listening. And you just nod and nod and nod and listen to the bullshit, and then you do whatever you want to do, and do not allow anyone to make those kinds of. I am always appalled when I hear people, especially women, nagging at their female friends and telling them, look what he did to you. What business is it of theirs? It's none of their business. It's like if you bought a car and you loved that car and the car turned out to be a lemon, it broke down, it cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars over the year, and somebody criticizes the car. Why did you? That's a piece of crap. It hurts. Why? Because you love that car. You chose that car. So just remember, everyone else too. It's always a good thing to remember that when somebody is having trouble in a relationship, you've got to just be there. Just listen. That's all. Get them a glass of water or a cup of wine or something and keep your bloody mouth shut. That's your job. Okay? That's your job. Unless, you have evidence that they're a psycho killer or something, or they, Seriously, it's that it would have to be that severe. Uh, you cannot step in and make judgment calls for other people. It's a terrible thing to do. Um, People are making important decisions anyway. Anyway, okay, we're gonna take a quick break, and then I might do one or two more other freebies. Okay, be right back. One second. All right, guys. Now, just before we, um, I think probably we'll probably do one more freebie, okay? Because my energy is getting a bit low. But before I do that, did anyone else donate? Because I'm not always looking at the chat there. Anyway, don't be shy to speak up if you did. Now, does anyone have I prefer the specific questions, but does anyone have a question? And it doesn't have to be actually about, it doesn't have to be a tarot related question. We could look at something else. Um, but does anyone have a burning question or something they really need to know? I'll just give you about 60 seconds and then we'll figure out what we're going to do. Oh, thanks, Theodore. I was just reading your comments. God love you. God love you. Oh, God love you. God love you. All right, so last chance for our last question. And if we don't get any questions, we'll just pull a card for the collective and then we'll close off the show. Isn't Teresa wonderful? She is a really good reader. She's a Pisces. I always call her my psychic Pisces. Well, I know how we can end the show. I'm going to tell you something really interesting. You might think that I'm bonkers, but I do have this on good authority. So you're going to hear about let me just see if I have a picture of it here. You're going to hear about something that NASA has been calling SI, no, 3I Atlas. They think it's an asteroid or a comet. It's not. It is it is, if I can I turn this on or is it already on? It's on. It is a galactic federation ship. It's not going to collide with the Earth, and it is, and I have this on very good authority. um, just a moment now. Where are my pictures? Just a moment, guys. Sort this, sort this, sort this, sort this. I don't know if you guys ever saw any of the videos that I did on what NASA was calling asteroids, the ones that were being discovered like hours before they appeared on our radar. And they had very, very incredibly beautiful patterns on them, circles and circles that were joined together, and really interesting etchings. Well, now I understand. Just a minute now. Where did the photos go? Where did the photographs go? There. Photographs go there. So, for many, many years, NASA has been looking at different types of asteroids. Okay, so they always say that those little holes and things and indents come from bubbles and how they were formed and all this kind of stuff. Okay, now I'm going to show you a picture of this huge, what they're calling a comet. So that sometimes it'll be referred to as 3I Atlas or 2025 N1 Atlas. The year refers to, by the way, the year that it was discovered by us. Now, have a look at the incredible pattern that is on this, what they're calling an asteroid, and look at the etchings at the top. This one is pretty remarkable because it is very clear that these are symbols of peace and unity. And so the videos that I made last year, isn't that incredible? A lot of them had these same etchings on them. Now, incredible, eh? Now, here is what I understand these to be. On the outer, that is sort of a disguise. What is on the outside? What's on the inside of that is a Federation ship. It will appear to be going toward our sun. It will pass by the Earth. It is manned. Okay. In other words, there are beings, physical beings, in that ship. They are from the Pleiadian civilization. They will be delivering potent light codes, and what they refer to as ancient ascension templates. It has something to do with I mean, that's that much I am sure of. So you will hear. Don't be. It's incredibly unconditionally loving what they're doing. So don't ever, ever be put out if someone tries to make you panic, because it's huge. It's huge. Not only is it not going, I mean, it's extremely advanced chip inside. They're not going to be colliding with the earth, and they would never do that. They're here to help us. Okay. So don't let anyone get you in a panic over that. And I wouldn't even bother telling them what you know, because unless it's somebody that you think would actually be interested in knowing. But that information is just for you, for your own comfort. And what I think I might do is repost on the channel page the link to, or maybe I'll post it below this live, the link, some of the links to the videos that I did last year on all of the other, what I was, you will hear me referring to them in the videos as asteroids, because I didn't know until today about what those shapes meant, and what's inside. Okay. Anyway, guys, I love you so much. And let's just get one card of advice for all of us. What do we all need to do more of, or need to, what would assist us in making us happier and reaching our desired goals? I'm just going to let one pop, I think. Well, there's a couple of. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. So have faith. And don't you think it's interesting? Look at how we were just looking at these circles that were, kind of, okay? So have faith. In any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. I think you'll always find, I was in the old tarot room a couple of nights ago, and I was up late working on something, and all of a sudden I heard this. And there's something about, even though I wasn't feeling that great and the house was a mess and I was behind in this and that, there was something so unconditionally loving about that little bird that, had the courage to do the first little song in the morning. And there it is. And also, guys, be unapologetic about what you desire and trust that what you focus on will grow. All right. You guys are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. There's such beautiful energy on the channel right now. So, you guys, your energy is beautiful. And I pick up, I'll tell you something. I'm allergic to any kind of low vibrational energy. So thank you for your energy tonight. You guys have been wonderful. So we'll say a quick prayer. Please allow something really cool to happen for every single person that was on this channel tonight and that's here now. And let's pray that any person that's in pain or feeling anxiety, give them some relief. And let's pray that all human beings all of a sudden instantly love every animal that they might be caring for or in the possession of as much as we love our animals. And that any animal that's in pain gets some immediate relief and is in the company of someone who really loves that animal. Thank you, God. Amen. And thank you guys for being here tonight. And I will see you probably. I might run another live tomorrow night. You guys are amazing. And thank you for your energy. So we'll see you probably tomorrow.